Hello and welcome back to the Premier Predictor here at the Royal Oak Pub in New Malden. Now, before we get into today's video, let's have a look at last week's results. Let's start off with obviously the North London derby. Obviously it was Arsenal who beat Spurs in the end 3-1. Very entertaining game. Or another red card. Maybe was it a red card? Debatable. Could have gone either way. Pretty dull game. Bournemouth-Brentford was 0-0. Chelsea came from behind to beat Palace 2-1 and Conor Gallagher scoring against his old team. Fulham capitulated under Newcastle, who eventually won 4-0, but could have been more. Obviously Fulham had a player sent off as well in that game. Another entertaining game, Liverpool versus Brighton, 3-3, and no one was probably predicting that result. Obviously Brighton played very well, deservedly went ahead. Liverpool came back in and then conceded again. Just to add to Jurgen's woes so far this season, it's just not going very well. Southampton versus Everton started off as a bit of a dull game, but did kick into life, and Everton ended up winning that one 2-1. West Ham beat Wolves 2-0. Following that game, Bruno Lage got sacked, which is one of the topics we'll be talking about in today's video. Another really entertaining game was the Manchester derby, in which Manchester City won 6-3, which is an absolute mad score. Lots and lots of goals in that one. Obviously, Erling Haaland with another hat-trick. That guy's an absolute machine. But obviously, special mention Foden, who also scored a hat-trick. Leeds Villa was a goalless draw, and Leicester got their first win of the season against their rivals Forest, thrashing them 4-0 on Monday night. And as you can see, Scott did beat me this week 13-6. I didn't get a single correct score, but that is the way we go. Right, so let's move on to today's video with my guest Joe. We're going to be talking about Bruno Lage, as we mentioned, and his new and Joe's new channel, and also we'll be talking about Gameweek 9 predictions. Welcome back. So this week I'm joined by Joe, who's been on this channel before a few times. So thanks for coming back again, Joe.
That's all right, mate.
Appreciate it, mate. Appreciate it. This week, you're obviously here not just talk about football, let's talk about your channel, which is a boxing channel called Joe's Jab. I'll put his channel information in the description below. Joe, tell me about your channel a little bit.
Yeah, so Joe's Jab, it's a channel for all things boxing. It looks at things like topics like Muhammad Ali's greatest performance in the boxing ring. You've also got whether topics like Mike Tyson and whether he's overrated or a boxing great. And more recently, I've got knockout highlight clips, such as
one's
done all right.
About 60,000 views, isn't it?
It's done not bad. Yeah.
How many subscribers you got now? 200, I think.
Yeah, 210 subscribers. Okay. So
yeah. So for any of you boxing fans out there, go subscribe to Joe's channel. Honestly, his editing is brilliant. And
thank you.
If you want to see all of Mike Tyson's knockout in one video.
That's the place to go.
Good, yeah.
The latest one is AJ, Anthony Joshua as well. Yeah. So
I'll put a link as well on the screen for that one. Right, so our topic this week is Bruno Lage, who obviously got sacked a few days ago after the defeat at West Ham. Obviously, I think their record in 2022 is like maybe 1 or 2 wins or something. It's really bad.
It's quite poor. So you can sort of understand it. However, I feel for Bruno Lage. I mean, I don't actually think Wolves are as bad as what their position is currently suggesting they are. They're really unfortunate with injuries.
Yeah.
Kladovic, the striker, Jimenez, so their attacking threats have been quite, they've not been there to showcase, and they've been struggling to score goals and win games as a consequence. And
they've had to get Diego Costa,
which is a panic buy. I mean, I hope it goes well. I mean, I love Super Chelsea. I love love Diego Costa. Love it, but he's 34.
Can he put himself around? Can he perform week in, week out? With his fixture pile up, it's not going to be easy.
Exactly. If you're relying on Diego at this point in time in his career, it's a challenge. So I feel it's harsh. I think he's a really good manager, and no doubt he'll get another job. But
I think he's just been unfortunate. I mean, like you said, they got a good team, and they've just had a lot of injuries.
Yeah.
Neves had to play centre back in that game.
Yeah.
Obviously, that's not what he should be playing.
Yeah.
So if he had a fully fit squad, then maybe he might still be in a job. We just don't know.
There you go.
But
a couple of results as well. If they could have, if they got some of those draws into wins and so forth. I mean,
Yeah.
you could be looking at it very differently, but unfortunately they're in the relegation zone. So,
You think they'll be all right by the end of the season?
yeah, I think they'll be able to pull it around. I think there's
They got two good.
I think there's more. I think it's more the case that there's at least 3 sides that are worse than Wolverhampton. I think they'll be okay.
Yeah.
Rocky patch at the moment, but they'll find themselves out of it.
Cool. Right, let's move on to Game Week 9's predictions. So another 10 games to do this week, no postponements. Let's start with Bournemouth versus Leicester. So what have you gone for that one?
Yeah, so I think Leicester had a really impressive win on Monday against Nottingham Forest. Their big
Nottingham
rivals.
Forest. I know they had a lot of loanees last season and they had to buy a lot of players to fill those positions, but they're just not gelling. It just doesn't look like anyone knows how the other people play. It's just all over the place.
And their key players like Jesse Lingard's really not been performing at all. And I would be worried if I was Forest, to be honest. But I think Leicester. I think the bounce. They were going to get their win eventually.
Yeah.
They're too good a squad, and I think they'll have too much for Bournemouth. I think they'll win 2-0.
Yeah, I've also gone for a Leicester win. I know Bournemouth have been playing actually better since
they've done
9-0 thrashing.
Gary O'Neill has done a great job since he's taken over as caretaker.
Yeah.
He's in for a shout to get the permanent role, I think.
Yeah, I think definitely. If they keep going the way they're going,
Yeah.
Obviously this is a bit more of a test for them. But yeah, I do see Leicester edging it just based off the Monday night game. I did watch it. They were really up for it.
They were really up for it. I know it's their rivals as well, but I think they'll get a lot of confidence from that game, and I think that will come through, and they'll go on a nice little run, I think.
Yeah. Right, Chelsea versus Wolves. Obviously your team
Yeah,
against Wolves that we were just talking about.
Yeah, well, I hope they don't have new manager vibes and they start
they
to
might
bounce.
want to try and impress. But Diego Costa will probably.
Diego will. There's a lot of ambition. They want to do a good job, but I think it will be 2-0 Chelsea. I think Graham Potter's first home Premier League game.
Yeah, I think so.
He'll want to kick off in a positive way.
Yeah.
I think we'll just have too much quality for Wolves. I can't see them scoring. And we've got Aubameyang now, who's finally we've got a number 9 again. Hooray!
And he scored as well at the weekend.
Great goal.
Yeah.
Great. I mean, both those goals. You talk about Conor Gallagher's goal.
The whole weekend was full of great goals.
Yeah, actually, it was
so yeah, I've actually gone 3-2.
Wow.
Weirdly enough, I think.
So you think Diego's going to score the goals?
Without a manager, I just think they'll play without fear, or they'll play without.
They definitely
pressure,
will do
maybe.
that. You think two goals?
Maybe. I mean, Diego Costa probably would get on the goal sheet, but I could see it being a lot of goals in it. I don't know. I could be wrong, but that's just my hunch. But that's what we're here for.
Fair enough. Yeah.
Man City versus Southampton.
So I've probably been quite lenient here, considering how many goals they're bagging in at the moment. But I've gone 3-0 to City. So it's quite.
I mean, I've gone 5-0.
Yeah,
City just
quite conservative. Yeah. The thing is, it's just Southampton. You just never know what you're going to get with Southampton, and
they're just not playing very well at all.
They're not, but they go through these patches where they don't play particularly well, and then they'll turn it on against like a Chelsea or a top team. And if that kind of Southampton turns up, I still think they're going to get smashed to bits. But I think maybe 3-0, maybe another Haaland hat trick. Who knows? But I think you could be right though. It could be 5. It could be anything, to be honest. But it's definitely a City win.
Yeah, I can't.
A comfortable one as well.
Easy. I mean, Haaland easy. Another hat trick. Southampton just. I can just see him rolling over.
How many goals has he got now? In 14, is it? In
crazy.
Like 8 games.
Yeah.
That is mad.
Stat.
Quickest to 3 hat tricks in the Premier League as well.
8 games.
That's mad.
I think the next one up was like 20 or 30.
Yeah, it's Michael Owen, I think.
Right, let's move on to Newcastle Brentford.
Yep.
Gone for that one?
I've gone a 2-0 Newcastle.
Yeah.
I think
Brentford have not really, since they beat Man United, they've kind of
gone off track a bit.
They didn't play well against Arsenal. They drew with Bournemouth. They maybe should have got something like that.
Yeah,
like a win at least. So yeah, I know Newcastle got some injuries. People back now. They're starting to click.
They're starting to click, and players that weren't working for them.
Back.
Yeah, Wilson's back, scored, didn't he? Almiron with a great goal.
Yeah, probably goal of the season, maybe, or at least goal of the month.
Yeah, well, definitely goal of the month. I'd imagine. Although Connor's there, but Connor's goal's not as good as his. But and he's suddenly turning it on when he's done nothing for the last how many seasons, and suddenly he's doing all right, at least at the start anyway. So comfortable 2-0 win,
I gone
especially at home as well.
Yeah. 3-1 I've gone for.
Okay.
maybe Tony might get on the goal scoring.
Yeah, maybe.
On to Brighton versus Spurs. What have you done on that one?
Yeah, it's an interesting game, this one, because Brighton
played well.
Brighton have played very well all season, I think, overall. And Trossard with a hat-trick, played really well against Liverpool.
Anfield, I mean, the last player to score a hat-trick at Anfield.
True.
Anyone I can think of is Arshavin, who got 4.
Oh, yeah, wow, yeah.
I don't know if anyone... They're probably... Hey, if anybody knows, put it in the comment section, because my knowledge is off. So what have you put?
But I think Spurs are they're gonna have a bounce back from Arsenal.
Yeah.
Conte won't allow it. I think it'll be a tight, close, interesting game, but 2-1 to Spurs.
Yeah, I've gone 1-0. I've gone narrow. I think they'll just try and defend and not concede.
Yeah,
maybe get them on the counter.
It could be quite a repeat, but with a different result to the North London derby, where they sit back, quite defensive, as you say, Italian-minded, I suppose. Conte.
I think Brighton played better away from home.
Maybe
it's a weird one. I don't know.
But I think they'll be full of confidence, and I think they will give it a good go.
Okay, I think
but I think Spurs will just have a little bit too much quality.
Right, Palace Leeds is the next game.
Yeah, I think Palace were really unfortunate to get anything against us. To be completely honest, we were a bit fortunate. Thiago Silva, should he have stayed on the pitch?
Probably could have been a red card. I don't know why he didn't see that.
I don't know. I think
maybe if the foul was already given, maybe at that point, I don't know.
I think it's because Ben Chilwell was. I think their argument is he could have possibly got back and it wasn't clear and obvious. I think it was clear and obvious, but I think that's where if it's not 100%.
Still, like handling the ball like that.
I don't know. It wasn't very sportsmanlike. It was.
He was probably lucky.
He was lucky. He was lucky. I think he was lucky. I can kind of see why people might have thought Chilwell. It was the Chilwell thing, but
then he assisted Van for the goal.
I know. It's always the case, isn't it? With these sort of things.
So what have we gone for now?
Yeah, so I've gone a 2-1 Palace.
Okay.
I think Leeds have played really well before they got the sending off.
They're proving quite difficult to beat.
Yeah. So I think that they play good football as well. You know, but I think Palace will bounce back. 2-1 Palace.
I've just gone for a draw on this one and can't really see.
Yeah, fair enough.
A lot of goals. I've gone 1-1.
Yeah, I could see that.
Each other out are quite very similar style teams.
Could easily.
Right, West Ham Fulham is the next one. What have you gone for now?
Yeah, I've gone 2-0 West Ham. Yeah. I think it'll be a straightforward win at home as well. Fulham, they're running out. It feels like they're running out of numbers. Like
they've lost Mitrovic to injury.
Yeah, and now Chalobah
is suspended.
Yeah, so it feels like there is suddenly a bit.
Where's going to come from now without Mitrovic?
Yeah. So a little bit low on numbers, and I feel like West Ham have suddenly they got into their groove a little bit now. They've won and Jared Bowen has looked good. So I think 2-0 West Ham.
Yeah, I got 2-1.
Fair enough.
I think West Ham will win.
Is that Mitrovic again? Mitrovic getting the goal?
Well, he's injured.
Oh, he's injured. Yeah, sorry.
So where it's going to come from? Maybe a set piece, but I just think because West Ham are playing Thursday, there might be
that could be a factor.
Maybe, and that's why I can see them conceding.
Yeah, they always say it's always a little bit more challenging to play once you played in Europe, so it could play a factor.
Right, on to probably the big game of the weekend: Arsenal versus Liverpool.
I thought Forest versus Villa myself. No,
no, that's the Monday game.
Yeah, I know, I'm messing. But
you mean game of the week?
Game of the week, yeah. That's what we're all waiting for, mate. That's it. That's save the best for last. No, Arsenal, Liverpool. I suppose weirdly, you wouldn't have thought this at the start of the season, but probably Arsenal go into this match favourites.
Yeah.
Liverpool have been really off it. I think
it's been a long time since I've been scared of going to Arsenal. I'd be very comfortable.
No one's usually scared of Arsenal.
No, but now it's I can't really see us winning.
The thing is, I think you've got a knacker when you need to fight and you need to dig a result out. You can do. I've gone 1-1.
I've also gone 1-1. I mean, that's just me being biased. It could easily be an Arsenal win.
Very easily could be an Arsenal win, and especially your defensive wise, and not just. I know people have been seeking out Alexander Arnold in terms of his performances, but I don't think any one of your team or defenders. Van Dijk's been not as good as he has been.
He's been a bit lethargic.
Yeah,
it's just not quite worked across the pitch, and we end up chasing games, and it's just. And that's not how we should be playing.
No. So, but saying all that, I do think I think it'll be a 1-1. But it might be one of those games, a bit like when Arsenal played Man United earlier on in the season, where Arsenal really should have won the game.
Yeah, but I know they were away from home. They got the home score this time.
They have. But Liverpool, I don't know. It's just something about Liverpool. You seem to do things when you shouldn't do things. You know.
True.
So
I mean, it could be anyone's guess of that game. I mean, obviously we both playing in the week. See how that obviously Liverpool play Rangers and Arsenal play Bodo Glimt. I think they do
on Thursday.
So we just don't know. But that'll probably be the game of the week, hopefully. Everton versus Man United is the other Sunday game. Yeah,
and I think Man United will bounce back.
You think?
I think it'll be a 2-0 win.
Yeah, I'll split on this one because Everton have gone on like a 6 or 7 game unbeaten run.
Yeah, they've done all right. Yeah,
good. Actually looked like a solid unit again.
They've got decent players. Gordon, Gray, McNeil looked all right. You know,
Cody's in Tarkovsky at the back looking good.
Yeah,
they've got those two midfielders, Onana and Gay, are really working well.
Frank Lampard's building a good side there. Yeah. Well, you know, but I just think Man United they have to bounce back. You cannot be losing the way they did to Man City. Everton is going to be a tough place to go, but I think they'll do it. I think.
I mean, I've gone for a draw.
Okay, so you don't think so?
Draw specialist.
Yeah,
it's
fair
not
enough.
Easy place to go, Goodison. It's quite.
No.
It's quite compact.
Yeah.
Right, let's move on to the final game, which is Forest versus Villa.
I've gone
expecting goals in that one.
Not really. I think it's going to be a 1-0 win for Villa.
I've also gone Villa win 2-0.
2-0, fair enough. Yeah, I mean
they probably should have beaten Leeds.
They should have beaten
Leeds. They had a lot of chances,
especially when they were a goal behind. A red card, and so and to be honest, they had good chances. I mean, Ollie Watkins should have taken a few of his chances.
Hit the bar.
Exactly. So they were unlucky, and I think they're just a bit low on confidence. But they played all right. They're all right, Villa. They're better than what they're showing at the moment. But I think Forest will be low on confidence. I know they're home, so maybe that might help.
This could be the end of Steve Cooper if they lose this one, maybe.
I've heard rumours.
On the sidelines, he just doesn't seem.
Yeah.
He kind of just looks like annoyed and like down all the time. Like he doesn't seem not beat. Like it's almost like he's admitting defeat before. The end of the game. I don't know.
Which isn't good. I've heard rumours. Benitez.
Oh, at Forest.
Who knows? Back in the Premier League, historic club. You know. I don't know.
Maybe.
I don't know whether Benitez would want to do that, but that's what I've heard.
Steve Cooper could be a little bit out of his depth.
He did a great job last year when he came in. But I think
they just changed their team too much. It's going to take time, and they probably just don't have enough time in the Premier League. By the time they start playing well, they might already be down.
Yeah, I know.
And then they have a huge wage bill going into the Championship.
Yeah.
And they could, go relegated again, something that does happen.
There's history of it.
So, we'll have to see what happens there. Right, that is Game Week 9 all done and dusted. Thanks very much for Joe for joining me this week.
Mate, my pleasure.
I'll put Joe's channel information in the description below, so do go check it out and subscribe to his channel. And yes, that is it this week. Obviously, please subscribe and like this channel, and we'll see you next week. See you.